Carbon monoxide can come from any fuel burning appliance, so it could be a gas burning appliance, it could be solid fuel burning appliance, gas boilers, gas cookers, or other fuel devices can give that out. But it can also come from neighbouring properties, through windows, through doors, walls, or an enclosed flue.
As part of my role, gas safety is a big part of the business, make sure residents are safe in their homes. So around 2 years ago we introduced a project to install in CO alarms within our residents' properties in their homes to make sure they're safe from any escape of carbon monoxide. It's raising people's awareness around CO. People heard of it. Is there enough awareness throughout the country, within the industry? Probably not. We need to raise awareness and bring it to residents' attentions and the general public.
The biggest danger of carbon monoxide is the fact it's odourless, there's no smell, there's no colour to it, its symptoms are very flu-like and often are dismissed as flu-like symptoms, so awareness needs to be increased.
Some people think that they can smell, various different gases and this and that. You can't. Carbon monoxide is, as they say, the silent killer. You can't see, taste, smell or hear it. And like I say, as long as the proportions are correct, it can kill you in minutes.
So when we go to advise registered social landlords, one thing we will look at is how they're managing gas safety, and it does take a holistic approach to look at that. And that'll be looking at the servicing, the maintenance, safety checks, producing landlords' gas safety records, and quite often installation of a carbon monoxide detector. So your first line of defence is always going to be make sure it's installed properly, it's serviced and maintained in accordance with manufacturer's instructions, and then there's an additional safety measure you can fit a carbon monoxide detector. So that if anything does go wrong over time, then you've got another line of defence.
The thing within social housing is that the landlord will be responsible for servicing the boiler, so that's serviced every year. The tenants are responsible for servicing the cooker if it's owned by them. The cookers tend to be sometimes second-hand or they're not in as good condition, so carbon monoxide can come from the cookers, and quite often when we go out to reports of an alarm going off, it won't be the landlord's boiler, but it will be the tenant's cooker that's the problem. So it's important for everybody to have their cooker serviced and try and buy a new one if they can, or at least make sure it's fitted by a registered installer, so then at least it can be checked for safety at the point of its first use.
As a gas engineer and also a supervisor going into properties looking at gas installations, we often find that carbon monoxide detectors are present, but unfortunately they may not have been installed properly, so they may be located in the wrong position or they may be out of date. So the sensors do need to be checked. There should be a date on the side of a modern detector to tell you when its expiry date is. There's no point in having a carbon monoxide detector if it's past its expiry date, it's not going to do anything. So they do need to be checked regularly. They also need to be installed properly in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions, which is typically at high level and away from any direct drafts or any stagnant areas or corners within the room. That is something that we do find quite often, that we'll walk into a property, there's a carbon monoxide detector but it's sat on the coffee table, and it's a case of, well, you're going to be breathing in the carbon monoxide before the detector's had a chance to pick that up. So they do need to be installed properly, checked regularly. They should be checked once a month to make sure the alarm is working, so there's a button on the front of most that you can push and that'll sound an alarm, and we would advise that everybody check them once a month and make sure that they're located and installed and in date.
We've had several people ringing in over the past where you can actually hear the audible alarm going off in the background. My advice to them would be, take all life, get out of the house, ring gas emergency services straight away. Don't be thinking it's a faulty alarm, because nine times out of 10 it's not going to be. Well, obviously every qualified gas engineer in Britain carries a card, like I've got on here today. That is an individual number on that card. You can ring the gas safe register and they will confirm who I am. Obviously, if a gas engineer comes to your house, ask them to produce this card. Any doubts, you can ring gas safe and they will confirm who I am and put your mind at rest.
So The standard things for safety really with carbon monoxide would be make sure the appliance is installed and maintained by a gas safe registered installer. Buy a CO alarm that is CE or British Standard marked so you know it's going to do the job. Make sure it's installed correctly, follow the manufacturer's instructions and test it monthly.